For some time now, we've been talking with you about South County Collision and South County Lexus. Well, we're down here with John Speckman today on location, in the real location. John, good to see you. A little bit about this location. How long have you folks been in here?
We actually opened up in September of 2011, and since then we've been growing with our community here and relationships with the insurance companies. One of those companies, being Farmers, is a company that sends us a lot of work here through our direct repair facility program with them, as well as a drive-in. So if you have Farmers Insurance, you'll be instructed to come here for us to do an evaluation of the damages to your vehicle.
I think a lot of people think only I have to have a Lexus to come here, and that's not true.
No, not true. Actually, right now we fix all makes and models. We've got a Jaguar in there, a Jeep. We do Acura products. We do everything that you might have and you might own that needs repairing. We'll take care of that for you.
All right. Okay, John, we're inside, and I guess the process starts with one of your technicians doing some evaluation on the car, right?
That's correct. Right here, what we're doing now is doing the meticulous removal of the vehicle parts and components. This is where we call our blueprinting area. This is where the car is taken apart, disassembled. We identify the damages and start writing on our computer system as to an estimate that we build for the purpose of coming up with a repair estimate and repair plan for our customer and the insurance company. This is one of the very crucial parts in order for us to then communicate what our needs are with regards to parts, type of damage, whether it's mechanical, frame, and structural, and all the things that go along with it. We also engage our painter at this point to say how much of this repair we're going to require paint work as well. This is where we get the beginning of the process started.
So this is the estimation process, and then you'd contact the customer and the insurance company.
This is correct. And that's where we get all the authorizations, and we parts verify at this point what the parts are going to be, their costs, availability as to when they're going to come here, so that we can get the car in and not slow down or stop during that repair process.
And I guess part of the decision is, do we repair that part or replace that part?
And that's where our experts here, they're all certified technicians that know their things from ASE to Lexus certified, as well as other industry standard certifications, including ICAR. They're going to help us determine what the vehicle requires as far as parts repair versus replace, if it's cost effective and its availability for the process.
And then I guess once the approval process, then you start ordering parts.
Parts are ordered. They're usually here within 24 to 48 hours unless it's a special ordered item. And then once those pieces have been mirror matched, identified, then these guys will roll that vehicle into the repair process and get the process going. And it'll usually start in our structural area if it has some sustained damage to frame, or if it's mechanical, we'll do some of that diagnosis and disassembly at that point in order for us to then continue on with the body side of things.
Well, John, that's been interesting. I think maybe the next stop would be to take a look at some of the actual repairs being done in that structural area.
Yes, definitely. This is where we're going to show you what we do to get the car back at the manufacturer specifications so that we can perform the repair and hang all the parts afterwards. Yes.
So you talked about computers, and we actually have one right here, and I guess these have a memory with all the specs of all these cars, right?
Yes, actually that's true. Everything from an Acura A to Z per se, all the manufactured vehicles and model years are going back to what's most commonly 1980s. There are some other cars older than that we'd have to do download, but this is web-based, so we're actually able to get all the measurements from any type of manufacturer's vehicle. What we do is we have all the specifications and where everything's supposed to be put at as far as our sensors are concerned, and Sergio here is setting up a car for measuring. Now what we do is we look at where the control points are, where the damages has occurred, where everything is red, we have to make adjustments on. So we print that out. We go ahead with the process, we hook up the chains, and it tells us exactly where to pull that car from, and we will get it within the millimeter requirements, and it goes green. That means the vehicle's in specs. We do this for every single vehicle. We have to keep those printouts as well for the insurance company as well as the customer, so that they know that the vehicle's been structurally pulled to factory manufacturer's specifications. And this is before we hang all the parts, before we do any of the body other repairs that are required to the vehicle.
Right. And you were saying that you don't just work on the Lexus vehicles, which do have very high quality and tolerances, but you've got a wall of tools over here with adapters that you can handle pretty much anything that comes your way as far as the type of car and the hardware it takes to make it fit on this device.
This is correct. We actually have tie-down machine units there and capacities for clamping down your Mercedes, your BMWs. We have a Jaguar back there that we had some structural repairs done to it as well. So we have that technology and the tools to do whatever's necessary to put your car back on the road in safe and sound factory specifications.
So from here it goes to what? The new parts added and then to paint eventually, right?
And then behind me, as you see, all these guys here are working on those cars. So if there was body repairs, they're doing those. They're transferring over parts and components. They do get jammed or cut in before we actually hang some of those new parts, or we call one-touch painting, which I'll take you back to the paint shop and show you where a car is taken apart. Maybe the door is painted at the same time the rest of the car is, and then put together and reassembled thereafter. And this is the part of meticulous preparation in order to get the paint going. As you see, there's different variances to the colors that are going to come up here as we've discussed in previous times that we visited, but this is key to our also finished product.
So the work is done on the chassis, mechanical work is being done, then the new parts, which you've already ordered and already been approved by the insurance company and the customer, those parts are put on, and then we head over to the paint department, correct?
This is true. This is where we'll see the paint process in its very early stages all the way to what's going on inside a booth to paint the car.
All right, let's go.
All right, great.
We are inside the spray booth, and that's probably why the picture might look a little unusual, because we're shooting the camera through the glass here. But John, we're inside in between painting processes. These are parts now that have been selected to go on a repair job. And these parts don't look like metal, they look like plastic. Is there a difference in painting plastic and metal?
Yes, most definitely. In plastic, plastic expands and contracts with the heat. Therefore, it's a different composite. That means paint does not stick unless you properly prepare it. So you have adhesion promoters, you have flexible agents, all the things that allow the paint to adhere to it, and then it's got to be hand oil free.
Important. What you have in your hand here is actually some of the stuff you spray on, and that helps the paint adhere to the plastic or fiberglass parts.
Correct. This is that adhesion promoter or multi-prep. This allows that paint to get on that plastic before we can put it into paint and then clear coat it, and then go back on an LX 570 right now. That's what these bumpers are here for.
All right, so again, these are going to get painted and then eventually end up back on the car, buffed out, detailed, ready for the customer.
This is correct. And this is a situation where this is a smaller type repair, so this can get done a lot quicker. And as we mentioned before, we do quick repairs. So in some cases, we don't take the bumpers off or some of the components. In this case, because there's so many corners and stuff, you want to make sure adhesion is proper. We had to take these off in order to do this job. But it's still only a 2-3 day repair, not like weeks out. So,
all right, thank you. So here's one that you're going to do a little work on this one. This one's going to take some time to repair, I think.
This is correct. Now this one had a new quarter panel replaced, rear body panel, and inner structure. So this one in this particular case is being prepared for the priming and sealing aspect of it. As you can see, what's important here is all the caulking and seam sealing that has to be reproduced to what the manufacturer tried to do with a mechanical arm. So we've done the same thing and we spread it all out. Then all the metal is down to its base, and we're going to now reprime, seal it, and block it, and get it all ready for painting. This is the very important part of the whole process because we want to make sure that every detail taken apart in the future has been done to what is expected to be done by the manufacturer's specifications on this type of repair.
Well, John, thank you very much for showing us around today. I think it's been interesting for our viewers to see what goes into a repair. A lot more work under the paint that we don't know about that's really important to make this process work.
This is very important because this is what gets the job done right. This is what the customer never really sees, but it's very important to understand the whole process from beginning to end, that we're looking out for your best interest because we're here for the long haul.
All right. Thank you very much for showing us around today.
Thank you.